musical giant, conductor, pianist, organist, oboist, expert in opera, basso, baritono, and accordionist. If I could only acquire a fraction of his vast musical knowledge. Ugo Nati, another musical giant, conductor, pianist, composer, arranger, from symphony to opera. Ugo and Aldo have always been the substance in the oxygen for my musical life. I had been studying with Aldo for 6 years when our trio was formed in 1950. It was indeed thrilling to join these two masters, both equally superior and dedicated to perfection. I can honestly say that what I learned from them accounts for the greatest part of what I know, and those memories are indelible in my mind, cherished forever. Look who's here today, Larry Pioli, un giovanotto di 74 anni. Fai un po' mente che scherzo fa fare quella macchinetta lì. Bravo Lorenzo.
Thank you. First of all, we'd like to thank you and everyone who came today, especially the musicians, for coming some from far away and to join in this very special occasion for the Taro. And we hope you all enjoy yourselves this afternoon, and we'll get to some dancing later on. But first we'd like to have the musicians come up and one at a time, and we'll get together and play a little bit for you. Thank you very much for coming today. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, we're short on time, so we'll make it as short as possible. I would like to thank the Magnanini family for making this celebration and reunion possible. Ricky and Balba and family. Borgo Val di Taro, being part of Parma, is known for its foods, wines, arts, traditions, and especially for us here today, its music. Two gentlemen came to the United States from Borgo Taro about 65 years ago. They both played the accordion. Pietro del Grosso, known as Filomena, and Giovanni Brugnoli, named Scudellin. They opened a restaurant in 1936 and called it Valtaro Musette. They took some of the folk tunes from our parts of Italy and others and developed a style and such a warm popularity that they touched upon all corners of the world. And those of us who were fortunate enough to know them and share some time with them will always remember that special legacy which warms our hearts with special memories and pride. Unfortunately, they are no longer with us. However, we have here today, and I want to thank them for coming, the wife of John Brugnoli, Signora Pina Brugnoli, and his daughter, and their daughter Tina, and her husband Dante. We all know them, I'm sure. Now, Emilio Chiesa was not able to get here today, but there are 7 of us here who have played with Scudellin or Filomena in either Valtaro or the Terrace. Sometimes we see each other often, and sometimes years go by that we don't meet. But one thing is for sure, we have never been all together at one time in one place. So this is a memorable occasion, and I cannot say enough in admiration of them. I'm going to read this inscription on this plaque and introduce our first guest, my good friend and your good friend. It says, Magnanini Winery and the family of John Scudellin Brugnoli proudly presents this plaque to Pete Spagnoli in recognition of the promotion of the accordion and preservation of the Valtaro musical heritage. September 29, 1991. Peter Spagnoli. It's all yours.
Thank you, Gelso, and it's indeed a pleasure and honor to receive this award. And again, of course, I want to convey my thanks to all you fans, all you wonderful people who really give us the inspiration to want to play this Valtaro music, even today, with, of course, all the other music that we hear. Am I to introduce that again? Yes. Okay, I'll get on with it. Okay. I've been asked to also introduce another person, of course, amongst the people who are going to get this award. And it's a very prominent accordionist who has been for 4 years a president of the American Accordion Association, which is the biggest association in the whole United States. And she is a composer and an arranger and a very excellent performer in her own right. And also I'd like to mention that she, along with her late husband, Mendy Seri, you may remember him, They performed in Taro and the Terrace, Emiliana, all the places where you heard that music. So, ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause. My dear friend, Adi Siri, the former president of the Recording Association, performer. Come on up, Adi. I think you have a plaque coming. Chuck, you do it, please.
There you go, Eddie. This one is the one that works.
Thank you very much for this award. Thank you very much for the award. I didn't expect it. It's indeed a pleasure to be here, and we'll be able to play a few numbers for you later on, and I'd like to thank you and part of my husband, too. Thank you.
Now, he and his wife, Lena, came up from Florida yesterday. They couldn't even get two seats on the same flight. They came up on two separate planes yesterday, and they're going back tomorrow on two separate planes. Our friend Willie Brunelli.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here to see some of my old friends, Pete, Addie, my friend Hugo Nati, and especially Aldo Bruschi, that I haven't seen since 1949, who I was privileged to play with many years ago, and my good friend Gelso. Thank you very much.
And of course, you all know our very, very good friend, Dano Bertoli.
Grazie, sono molto lieto di essere tra tutti i nostri valtaresi e ringrazio di questa bella occasione. Sono molto contento di essere qui con tutti voi. Grazie.
E siamo quasi tutti do Burgo in qui. Except this next fellow, he's from Pessoa. One of the two strongest influences and mentors in my musical life, a sincere man, a fantastic musician, and a great inspiration to me, Maestro Hugo Nati.
First of all, I'd like to thank everyone that enjoyed my music, and I was very happy to make them enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Well, here is the strongest influence in my musical life. I was 10 years old when I took my first lesson. My teacher was 18. That's a big age difference when you're that young. But now I'm almost caught up with him age-wise. But I'll never stop studying with him. In 47 anni come fa scuola. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. My professor, Aldo Bruschi.
I remember his father coming to me when I gave him lessons. He said, devi farmi un piacere, questo ragazzo, devi farmi un piacere. Cosa dici? Devi farmi un piacere. Studia troppo. He said, he studies too much, you know. He's put the accordion 4 or 5 hours a day, 6. I think he's going to get sick with this accordion. I says, you cannot stop that because just la passione. So that's why we have him, right? Gelso Pellegrini, thank you very much. Thank you. And a star pupil, very serious from the very beginning. I knew right away. I told his father, he's going to make it. He's a star pupil. And I've had many, not that many. I can count them on my two of my hands, you know, piano, oboe, accordion, but he was one of them, really. I have others, but who are not in a different instruments. But I must say, I'm happy to be here. This is the first time that all of us are here under one roof. We've never been together. Willie, we have Hugo, over here, Gelso, Pete Spagnoli. Dove siamo tutti? We're all here. Isn't that great? Thank you very much. That's great. And Addie, I have nothing but admiration and respect for Addie Siri because she told me today, you know, one thing my first wife, who was a musician, told me, keep teaching. That's the most important thing. And she said, you can teach until you're 90 or 100. And I really appreciate that, what you said today, because that I will do that. If anybody wants to learn, I will teach, and that's all I can do. So thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
Last but not least, our great pilot, who would have been a heck of a help over in Iraqi. Magnanini Winery and Restaurant proudly presents this plaque to Larry Pioli in recognition of the promotion of the 3rd annual Festa della Val del Taro. Bravo. Into this one.
Which one? This one? Why, shucks, it was nothing. Thank you for the plaque. It seems like everybody is a very good friend, and they even came up from Florida to see us. So we got to congratulate all these paisans. That's it. Thank you. Thank you very much. You shouldn't have done it.
You gonna get him out?
Yeah.
floor. The next selection that we decided to play was one of the compositions that Spudlane wrote, and of course is very famous in the records. You may recognize the melody. It's called Allegro Waltz. Hey, these guys all know it. Don't worry. We're brought up with Allegro Waltz in honor of John Bruno.
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah, a little better, but it still bothers me. How about Morena? I thought you were going to say yes.
Thank you for this beautiful memory. I dedicate this Capriccio Alpino to you, Aldo, Ugo, Addie, Pete, Willie, Dono, and Emilio. God bless you all. would like to acknowledge an accordion legend. In fact, we have more than one, but one particular. Let's give us an applause to Pietro Taro Jr. Lee Taro, thank you very much. Pleasure to have you here.
In any event, I replaced Aldo Brisky, and before another year went by, I got the call from the Army and got drafted. We used to play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and sometimes Sunday afternoon. This Thursday night, I went into play and I told John, this Sunday is my last night because next Friday I gotta go in the Army. He said, oh, tell him to go to hell. I said, well, I'll try, but I still gotta go. But I don't want to play on Thursday night because I got to be in the draft board 7 o'clock in the morning. He said, oh, you could make it. I said, but geez, I'm going to be tired. He said, oh, me stomach a bang. I don't feel too good going for Duke, and we got a big party at night, and you got to play. So he talked me into it. We used to play from 9 to 3 o'clock in the morning. And I used to get home at 4 o'clock. 7 o'clock, I went to the draft board, went in the Army. 30 years later, I played that Thursday night. 30 years later, I went to Italy. I went up and visited a monument. And a little Fiat pulled up. It was John Brignoli, who I haven't seen in 30-some-odd years. And we got out, and he put his arms around me and hugged me and said, oh, Visking, he used to call me. Visking, I owe you $7.50.
I would like a big round of applause for Carmen Carrozza.
My teacher.
And of course, Addie Seary, president of the AAA recently, and naturally wife of Mindy Seary, who's no longer with us. Fantastic people, excellent musicians. A round, please, of applause for Addie Seary. And Frank Avanzato, he's another one from the Taro days. Frank Vance of New Rochelle. Frank Avanzato. And ladies and gentlemen, these are the folks who spent time and shared precious moments with John Brignoli and Peter Del Grosso. These are the originals. He is revered throughout Italy. He is on demand, especially for his painting and consultations at cathedrals and churches. He is most gentle and humble, as most great individuals are. Signore e signori, vogliamo augurare una buona visita ai nostri cari amici dall'Italia, specialmente un particolare forte abbraccio da noi tutti ad il carissimo, gentilissimo, egregio professore Renzo Magnanini. Aldo Mincaccini from Bell. And we have a youngster here, Guido Polverini, a pioneer artisan, 95 years old. Bravo Guido, 95 briscole. Frankie Carrozza. Mario Tacca.